What's going on, members? It's your boy Lesiba Mothupi. We're back again onto my YouTube channel. Fortunately, on today's video, we're going to be looking at the market and what actually is more likely to happen during the week. Basically, what happens is that I like to focus the market, come up with better scenarios that I can look into, and then I share it with you guys. And hopefully you guys will be able to just see what I'm seeing, my perspective towards the market. If you agree with it, you can either decide to play out with the trade, or you can learn from it and I don't know, just take a message from the market. The outcome will be the lessons that we are going to learn, whether it's a positive outcome or a negative outcome. We can still take something home from that. So in today's video, we're actually going to be looking at one thing that you guys are always asking me to cover, NAS100. Obviously, we are also going to be looking at US500 and US30. Basically, we're going to be focusing much more on indices instead of currencies, even though I do have my top 6 setups on which I'm going to be having a live session. I'm with the members. I'm recording this before the live session, but at the time you are watching this video, obviously the live session will be done, and we are going to be covering the top 6 pairs. We're also going to be covering also the setups that I'm sharing with you guys now, and then I just can't wait to see also what they have on their side. It's much more greater to understand that. And also, if you are a new member, if you are just starting out watching my videos, make sure to hit the subscribe button. I speak a lot of valuable information, obviously, and I make sure that I'm here to help out people that are needing materials on the forex market, the index market, and so on. So that's what I do, that's what I teach, and hopefully you will learn something from this. And also, members, if you're not in my Telegram channel, I noticed that a lot of you guys watching my video actually in the Telegram channel. I make sure to also update you guys with the setups, instead of you having to just watch the video too. I'll make sure to update you guys with the setups, so you can be able to just go into it and you just take a look at it and so on. Maybe I'll do it via TradingView also, but we'll just see actually what's more likely to happen. So let us start off first with our top pair, which is NAS100, as I did speak about. So one thing that I want us to actually focus on is that on the bigger time frame, yes, I remember, if you did go back onto my previous videos, there's where I spoke about the market breakdown, NAS100. I'm sharing with you guys what it is that I'm seeing. When it was still somewhere around here, we had anticipated for price to break beyond the highs. So as you can see here, we did break beyond the highs. This was where the NAS was at its highest, so we did break beyond that, and then we came to retest, and now we still continue to create more highs and so on. So one thing that I noticed is that buyers full momentum. There we are in a heavy buyers momentum. So just coming down to the 4-hour time frame here. Coming down here to the 4-hour time frame, obviously you can see that I've got my beautiful 4-hour trend line here, which indicates my buyer's move. It indicates my buyer's move, and just my moving forward. Let's say someone would want to focus on this. Someone would instead want to focus on this, on which I wouldn't say that your setup is wrong. Someone would want to focus on first touch, second touch, third touch, and so on. I wouldn't say that your setup is wrong, but for instance, NASDAQ, we are heavily momentum to the upside. So even if it's a sell, it'll be a short-term sell position, a short-term sell, but long-term it's bias. But I'm focusing more on bias because that's where the money is at the end of the day. Meaning that if I do get to be involved in a beautiful buy and then I hold it, I'll still be able to capitalize moving forward. So let me just go on the 1-hour time frame to show you guys what it is that I'm seeing. So as you can see here, previous highs, this was when NAS was at its highest. You can simply see that yes, these are the highs. Price did break out impulsively. It broke out impulsively right here with this candle, came back, a young retest, hammer, shot all the way to the upside. And then as you can see how we retraced here, this whole section here, this whole section is a beautiful pattern. It's a beautiful pattern that illustrates a move to the upside. So I want us to actually try to take advantage of this, and obviously you can simply see that the move that we had experienced before, okay, let me get this. The move that we had experienced before all of that happened is actually an impulsive move. Like, just take a look at this whole section. Impulsive movement, like it shot all the way to the upside, on which it's showing us that there's a lot of momentum to the upside. And obviously where we at now is just this beautiful pattern right here, on which just by taking a look at it, you can simply see that obviously impulse nature, correction, and then the next impulsive leg will be to the upside. Obviously we're not market makers, so you can't really say after a year you can buy full margin, and then it has to go up immediately. But there's a lot of evidence that backs up what it is that we are saying. Yes, we did break out of here impulsively. Take a look at now this coming back to retest as now support instead of resistance. This area now is support, this significant area. And then say at the same time, take a look at this beautiful pattern that has presented itself here. This in an upward motion, it's actually a continuation pattern in that same direction. So if you're seeing this in an upward trend, it's actually a continuation pattern on which it's saying that price should continue going all the way to the upside. On which one thing that I highly believe here is that price can just come play around this area, give us also third touch, first touch, second touch, third touch, then we will take a bias to the upside. And obviously with this one, you have to be a bit more careful with how you're capitalizing on it. Obviously stop is not going to be too much, somewhere around here. And then first target is here, on which 3.49%, which is amazing for a first target. And then obviously just by going all the way to the upwards, we'll just keep on managing our positions with trail stopping. I believe I do have a video where I speak about trail stopping, so please do also just check out my previous video whereby you'll be able to see me speaking about that. So now let us take a look at US30. Let us start off first with just 500. Yes, let's start off first with US500. It's more interesting compared to US30, and then we'll end it up with US30. Boom, here we are. We are now looking at US500. Obviously have to make sure that we try to capitalize as much from it, because I like the fact that me diving into US500, US30, I've took a couple of trades. I've took I don't know, maybe 7 trades so far, and I experienced very small trades whereby that went against me, meaning that my win rate on these currencies are still good. I'm still gaining data. Moving forward, we'll just see what actually is happening. But let us now jump into it, and then hopefully we'll be able to see what setups we can make from this. Okay, so the previous session that we spoke about, I remember I also dived into US500 and US30. Then we already saw what the market is telling us, like we had forecast that an upward move because of the momentum and all these things that backed up our scenarios. Now we had scenarios that were backed up with what it is that we saw, and then now I want us to actually see if we can continue to push that evidence of us moving to the upside, and if we can try to capitalize on that evidence. So obviously, as you can see, beautiful upward movement. Okay, let me just take this all the way from here. Okay, not too clean. I want to show you why I'm doing this. Just by doing so, you can simply see that this initially had been our first, second, and yet the third touches would be looking for buys already. So, okay, there you go. Okay, I wanted to show you that, but now since I'm doing this from now, obviously I'll evolve it here. But at the end, I'm trying to show you that this is an upward movement. Take a look at these were lows, and price pushed a bit more to the upside, highs. Came back, didn't break the lows. If it broke, we were going to be seeing lower lows, but it still continued to give us a higher low, and then now price is going all the way to the upwards. As you can see, this one here close to breaking previous highs, but now because of this beautiful pattern, I'll show you guys just now, but because of this beautiful pattern, I see more momentum going to the upside, having this as our first target, and then we can still continue taking the ride to the upside. But okay, let me not speak about this. I believe if you want to see the thought process behind this whole section, take a look at the previous videos that I have where I done the market breakdown. You hear what it is that I've seen. So I don't want to waste a lot of time speaking about something that you can easily go back on my YouTube videos and see. Now I'm going to be focusing on this section. So the same thing that I can do with NASDAQ, I can either take it from the downside, or I can still take it from here, coming all the way to here. And you can easily see that this is just an impulse leg, beautiful impulsive leg, beautiful correction right here. Not to complicate things, beautiful correction right here. And I'm not too sure if you guys know the gap method. Gap, like when a gap does present itself, if it does come to the upside, if let's say the market closed somewhere around here and then the market reopens, but it opens a bit more higher than where it had closed, there's a higher chance of price telling you that the momentum is to the upside. So normally some people would be like, gap fill, I have to sell, so it fills the gap, and then I don't know what afterwards. Even though that happens to be correct, most times it does happen that way. but that gap indicates that momentum is overall to the upside. So here I could be able to see this beautiful gap here, and also take a look at this pattern. First touch, I've got my first touch here, I've got my first touch here, second touch right here, third touch here, obviously looking beautiful, ne? And one thing that I'm seeing that I believe is more likely to happen here is that at least I've got my beautiful no, let me not even say at least, it's not like I'm trying to convince myself. I've got my beautiful 1 hour retrace candle here, on which I think this is ready, for a person to be placing, entries here. Could either have your stop loss here. I think this is a bit more aggressive, this is a bit more tighter. If let's say you're not too comfortable with these, I'm more comfortable with tighter stop losses, but if you're not too comfortable with these, you can have it just below here. And then obviously, okay, where's that area of our first targets, which is close to here. You can even have these areas as our first targets, as you can see, plus the 90 section here, 90 section. But I'm looking to take profits at these areas, and then moving forward 4.7 percentages, and then we can still move forward and capitalize on bigger trades. There's still more bigger trades that are gonna come, compared to, instead of just looking into this one trade here. But this is looking beautiful so far. It's US500. Let us take a look at US30 while we at it. It's almost like the same setup, to be honest, ne? Okay, here we go. Remember, I won't be speaking about this whole section because we did speak about it, we did cover it, so you can check my previous videos on how to capitalize on this. But US30, super simple, or even stick to the 1 hour. Same mindset that I have on the on the US500. So price did respect these areas. We capitalized just the young trade somewhere here. Is it this one? No. I think this one is the one that we missed. Yeah, it's the one that we missed. But we came all the way with this section from down here, third touches, and then we went all the way to the upside. Kept on forecasting, kept on seeing. I wanted to see if third touches here, is it gonna want to push to the downside, or is it still gonna continue rising, since the momentum is to the upside. And yes, it did. And I also took note of this being our first, second, third touches here, okay, which is beautiful confirmations of us to take buyers. And here it's not too clean for me to be able to draw my beautiful support structure here. I'll just leave it like this. But you could easily see that the previous lows, the previous higher lows, we didn't close below, even though we did reject at it. Rejection, it means a lot. You need to take you need to understand what this actually does mean, and then take advantage of this. But we did reject, and price kept on pushing a bit more to the upside, on which I highly believe that as soon as the market open, we can see momentum breaking these resistance areas, and then continuing all the way to the upside. Hopefully, let's see. I have a bias here. Stop loss could be easily here. This could be your first target, this could be your second target, 6 percentages, and this could be your overall target, which is 11 percentages, which is nice, because at the end of the day, it doesn't mean that this one trade is going to give you that 11. What it means is that you can still go all the way to the upside and get more other beautiful entries. I mean that this can just be and then it gives you another entry here, then you buy, and then this 11% would simply be turned into, instead of just 11, but find out that you are now building a 20 percentages, or even 25% with just one single position. That's how it is. You need to be able to see that one trade. Like, most people want to have that trade that they're taking be profits, and it's not always like that. It's always like that one trade that's going into profits, not always into the one trade that's going into profit. You need to build as much as possible with that one trade, and if you can do that, then you can find success in the markets very easily, because not all trades are going to hit profits, and not all trades are going to go the way that you have anticipated. But if, let's say, all the trades that are going against you only hit you a very small specific amount, like 1%, but the ones that are going in your side, the ones that are going in your direction, are not giving you small profits. Now they're giving you bigger profits. Instead of you taking home 1% in profit side, you are able to take home 4%, 5%, 7 percentages. That's something that we need to focus on. As soon as I changed the way that I saw the markets, that's a lot of things started changing also on my side. I started being able to take 4 losses in a row, but the one win that I'll take after those 4 losses would be able to put me in profits for the next week even. So it's nicer when you trade that way. Remember, guys, if you're not in my Telegram group, I'll leave the link in the description box, whereby you'd be able to just press subscribe to it, and then you'll be kept up to date with the information that I'm speaking about. These setups, I'm going to be sending them out in the group too, so make sure that you are a part of it. And I'll hopefully see you guys in the market recap. I'll also post another video speaking about the recap, whether we took a profit or a loss. I'll just be recapping with you guys, showing you guys what it is that we can learn from this. And make sure to just hit the subscribe onto my YouTube channel, because this is where you're going to be finding a lot of valuable information. It's your boy Lesiba Mothupi. Thank you so much for being with me up until this very end.